Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
The coronavirus risk is on the rise. The World Health Organization issues a new alert tonight as Governor Whitmer takes an important step to prepare for Michigan's first case.
And parents of 3 students charged in the De La Salle hazing case speak out, and they are irate why they say there was absolutely no reason why their children should have been charged.
We're going to begin, though, with a breaking news update. Sources confirmed to Local 4 serial murder suspect Kenyelle Brown has been declared brain dead, and family has decided to begin the process of donating his organs.
We want to get right to Mara McDonald. She's live at Providence Hospital. Mara, we knew Brown was in grave condition.
That's right, Kimberly, critically grave since Monday. That's when police say he shot himself in the head. Only Local 4 cameras were rolling on Monday when a police task force caught up with Brown as he was found running through various backyards of Oak Park homes. Police approached. They say he opted to shoot himself in the head. He has been at Providence ever since in critically grave condition. He is the suspect in a serial killing spree of 6 people over a 1-month period of time, as well as 2 carjackings and 1 non-fatal shooting. And now, sources telling us he has gone from being considered critically grave to the determination of brain death. We are live at Providence Hospital in Southfield tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Kimberly Devin, back to you.
All right, Mara. Our other top story at 5. Parents of 3 De La Salle high school students charged in the hazing investigation are speaking out, and they are outraged.
Yeah, they say the investigation leading up to the criminal charges was a sham and say their children can prove it. Sean Lay spoke to them today. He's live tonight at De La Salle with more. Sean.
Kimberly, these family members are very emotional tonight, saying they should be planning good times, prom, graduation here at De La Salle with their sons. Instead, their sons are facing criminal charges and facing the rest of their lives with their mugshots online forever.
I'm crushed. I'm embarrassed. I'm humiliated.
I immediately broke down and was crying and asked him how.
Our lives has just been upside down.
They are the mothers and fathers of 3 Warren De La Salle students, football players in the Pilots program, and tonight they say De La Salle's administration has failed them. A week ago today, 18-year-old Michael Young, 17-year-old Galiko Lovelace, and 18-year-old Ricky Pearson. They went to court and were charged with misdemeanor assault along with 4 other fellow players. These families stunned that their sons are being blamed for a hazing incident that one moment was dropped due to lack of evidence. The next, Latoya Young got word that a warrant was out for her son's arrest after 2 teammates came forward to say they were victimized.
I'm just embarrassed because people that know us, that's not how we are. So that's not how we are. And they know that's not how I raised my child.
Nikita Lovelace says her son Galiko was never named by fellow players about hazing anyone. She's shocked her son was then charged.
He was not implicated in the beginning, and you guys made that clear. And we voluntarily spoke with them.
Ricky Pearson's parents say their son is a member of the National Honor Society and president of De La Salle's Black Student Association. All the parents say they were heavily involved in De La Salle football, and a hazing ritual at De La Salle never came up.
He said nobody has ever did anything as far as bringing a broomstick out, poking somebody with a broomstick. He said that whole thing is literally made up.
I believe my son is innocent, so I'm going to stand behind that.
These are 7 young men who have futures that are being messed with and mishandled because of this whole De La Salle administration and how they handled this whole thing.
3 families we spoke to also asking why only African-American players on the De La Salle team were charged in all this. One way to answer that, an internal probe was commissioned here by De La Salle. Their attorneys are saying, the family's attorneys are saying, guys, that the Board of Trustees can release that probe, make it public. The families are demanding that tonight, saying it could clear their sons' names. Back to you.
All right, Sean. The panic continues on Wall Street as coronavirus fears send stocks tumbling again. Today, the Dow losing 357 points, a modest loss compared to the rest of the week, but it puts the market on track for its worst week since October of 2008, the beginning of the worldwide financial collapse. The drops are fueled by worries that the outbreak will get worse and that measures to contain the virus could slow or stop profits, and economic growth. That's just one headline. We're following the ongoing battle to stop the spread of the virus.
Yeah, indeed. Here are today's big headlines. Right now, more than 83,000 people have been infected with the virus. 2,800 have died. Japan has shut down all schools for the next month. And in Switzerland, all gatherings of 1,000 people or more have been canceled, and that includes the Geneva Auto Show. From coast to coast, state governments ramping up preparations to battle the coronavirus amid conflicting signals from health officials over whether it's already spreading across the country. The virus is sweeping other parts of the world, with Disneyland shutting down in Tokyo and Olympics officials there considering scaling down the torch relay. The New York Times is reporting top U.S. health officials have been instructed not to speak on the topic without clearance. President Trump on the coronavirus threat last night.
It's going to disappear. One day it's like a miracle. It will disappear.
But today there are new questions about what may be the first U.S. case of community spread. A woman in Northern California now on a ventilator after contracting the virus without the risk factors of travel or close contact with a known patient.
This is probably the tip of the iceberg. There's probably other patients who are getting this disease who are more mildly affected.
The patient, who lives in the same county as Travis Air Force Base, where hundreds of Americans were taken for quarantine, a new whistleblower complaint obtained by the New York Times claims some federal workers greeting those evacuees didn't have the right training or safety equipment.
How else did this illness get into the community? Most likely, high probability, it came from the patients, the evacuees that were brought to Travis Air Force Base.
Health officials now trying to figure out whether others may have been exposed and who could be passing on the coronavirus.
Now, here at home, the state of Michigan wants to be ready for the coronavirus and doing it by activating something that is normally reserved for natural disasters. The Emergency Operations Center went into action this morning at the governor's say-so. Our Rod Maloney was at State Police Headquarters today as the governor and the state's top health officials say Michigan is ready.
The Emergency Operations Center is that ground zero for state emergency management. They say that you could knock a plane into this building and you wouldn't hear it. It's that safe. But they feel that the coronavirus now is that important that they need to activate it. The governor did that this morning.
In the early stages, these state employees start by entering all the information about what their departments are doing about corona into a database. They'll discuss differing scenarios and how to quickly respond to those problems. Yet as they work here, the governor has a message.
Being clear-headed and calm and sharing information, I think, is the most responsible way that we can proceed and protect our state.
The governor acknowledging right now your chance of catching coronavirus is very low, but considering Detroit Metro is one of the few airports across the nation accepting passengers from China, it pays to be prepared. Should a passenger come to Michigan with the virus, there's a facility on the state's west side just waiting, says Military and Veterans Affairs Director Major General Paul Rogers.
Hosting people who are repatriated from areas of concern globally. That is located at Fort Custer, and we've set aside a facility with a 20-bed capacity. But to date, it has not been activated.
Here, they'll also take information from the state health department that's been working the problem and monitoring those people coming into Detroit Metro. Dr. Joni Calden making it clear.
There are currently no persons under investigation in the state of Michigan. The 5 people that we have previously tested for the disease all tested negative.
Now, most of the people you see here will not be here this weekend, but they are connected by computer and they will be communicating with each other over the weekend, and should something come up, they can be in here on a moment's notice. In Lansing, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, Rod, the governor's staff also has a complete website to help with, they hope, all things coronavirus.
We have a link to it on our website. Just go to clickondetroit.com. And our coverage of the coronavirus continues over this next 90 minutes of news. Ahead at 5:30, Dr. McGeorge has verified answers to your coronavirus questions. And then at 6, the Geneva Auto Show has been suddenly canceled. We just told you about that. So what could that mean for the North American International Auto Show in the spring? What organizers are saying here, new at 6.
A wild scene today inside Detroit City Hall as protesters temporarily shut down the building, doing it in support of overtaxed Detroit homeowners. Some even saying Detroiters shouldn't pay taxes. Tim Pamplin was there as things got loud quickly.
Detroit police descending en masse to the Coleman A. Young Municipal Center. There's about 50 protesters were outside. An equal number of protesters bringing the lobby to a standstill An organizer says the goal is simple.
It is to disrupt business as usual in the city of Detroit. What has occurred in Detroit is a human rights travesty.
But people have lost their homes for taxes they didn't owe. People are in agreements for taxes they don't owe. Nothing is right, and we'll be back.
That's organizer Agnes Hitchcock. Here's some video. She was threatened with arrest if she stepped foot back in the building. Security then started locking the doors. Well, that didn't go over too well. And then Detroit police made the decision.
The city council building is now closed. It's now closed for public safety.
City Hall was closed for about an hour while the protesters dispersed. That's the scene downtown. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
You know, we just got a statement from the mayor's office, and it says in part that the mayor has been working on this issue since running for office in 2013. And within his first month in office, the mayor says he cut assessments by 22% to try to correct the problem. His administration says they continue to look for solutions to help residents impacted by the overassessments. He'll be my guest Sunday morning on Flashpoint, and I imagine it will come up. We'll talk more about it.
Sure it will.
Yeah. Well, here we go again.
New tonight, we'll show you the best way to get around the I-75 closure this weekend and what's going to be different just in time for the Monday morning commute. Hi there, Brandon.
Kimberly, Devin, I went skiing last weekend in the 40s, 50s, right? This is the weekend to do it. Look at the lake effect snow up north. Down here, a couple of flakes, but we are getting warmer for the weekend. We'll look at the numbers next.
All right, Brandon, and talk about an unusual combination. New tonight, how Lions legend Barry Sanders, Garth Brooks, and Bernie Sanders have been creating a firestorm online. Larry.
They're called social media apps. You use them on your phone to meet people. Well, one man has different plans.
Force these three other victims to go to an ATM to withdraw cash.
I'm Larry Spro, and I'll tell you what police say who to look out for and what to look out for.